Hi, I'm Coach Stacy and welcome to KUMA Fit. Today I'm going to give you an introduction to kickboxing so that when you come in for your first class you feel a little more confident. The first thing I want to tell you is listen to your body. You know your body best, so don't go too hard, don't do something that feels uncomfortable, focus on technique, and then we can add some power later. I'm going to show you 4 basic strikes and I'm going to show you 2 kicks. So let's get started. The first thing I want you to focus on is your stance. So in kickboxing, you're gonna have a wide stance. One foot is almost always gonna be in front of the other when we're working on combinations. So if I were to draw a line down from my shoulders, my stance is wider than shoulder width apart. My hands always wanna start in a guard position. That means my elbows are tucked in, so I don't wanna see them out here. I'm gonna tuck my elbows in. My gloves are right up next to my cheeks. So every time I do a technique, I'm gonna come right back to this position. If I throw a jab, hand comes right back to the guard position. We're gonna start off with a jab. So the jab comes off the lead leg. It's a super quick punch. So with my fighting stance here, my jab is gonna come straight out. My hand is parallel to the ground. Remember to keep your other hand up. So my hand comes right back out, jab comes forward. It's gonna be a quick punch. So if I were to do it on the bag, I'm gonna pop it, boom, comes right back. Jab, comes right back. If I switch my feet and switch my footwork, my other hand becomes my jab. Boom, jab comes right back. Jab comes right back. When you're punching the bag, I want you to focus on having a nice tight fist. So when my hand actually hits that bag, I'm really hitting on these top 2 knuckles. So these right here is what you want to focus on. It's going to keep a nice straight arm and keep your wrists from buckling. When you're doing your jab, make sure that you don't ever feel like your wrists are wobbling. If that's happening, you need to pull back on the power. So punch a little bit lighter. So jab, nice quick pop. The second punch that you're gonna have that's gonna come right after that is gonna be your cross. And that comes off the rear leg. It's gonna be your power punch. For most people, this is gonna be their right arm. So I jab and then cross. Same type of thing, straight arm. I don't wanna lock out the elbows and I'm gonna keep up my hand. So I'm gonna go jab, boom, cross. When you start to work your way up into more advanced technique, I'm also gonna pivot on my base leg. So for my cross, I'm gonna pivot on the balls of my feet to add a little bit more power all the way from the legs up to my hand. Jab, cross, jab, cross. And you can actually hear the bag beating a little bit harder when you use your cross. So those are your long range techniques. So I'm gonna show you the next 2, and these are gonna be close range. So if I'm jabbing and crossing out here, you can see the distance that my feet are from the bag. When I do my close range techniques, I'm actually gonna step in super close. So my foot is really close to the bag over here for my hook and my uppercut. So the hook, and I'm gonna show you this direction, my elbow is gonna come up, my hand's parallel to the ground, thumb is pointing back at me, and then I'm gonna pivot on my foot to move it the rest of the direction. So it comes up, boom, hooks around. The other arm can do the hook as well. Hook, hook, hook. So I'm pivoting on my feet again. So I'm using my whole body to move my arm. So on the bag, remember I'm in close, I hook here, boom, hook, bam. 1, 2. And then my other in close range technique is gonna be my uppercut. So for this one, I always like to say it comes off the hip. So my hand comes down, I'm gonna be nice and close, elbow tucked in, and this time my palm is facing up. So I'm gonna uppercut off my hip here, uppercut off my hip here, okay? So on the bag, nice and tight, uppercut, uppercut, boom, boom. So I've got my jab, cross, long range, step in, hook, uppercut. Always remember to keep your hands up when you're done with the technique. So you got your 4 strikes, your jab, cross, your hook, and your uppercut. So now I'm gonna show you some kicks. The first one, and probably the easiest one for us to do, is gonna be your front kick. For your front kick, you're gonna have your hips facing the bag. That means that my toes are facing forward. I'm gonna lift my knee up, and I'm gonna push with the bottom of my foot. Push, boom, right here, nice and easy. I can do that with the lead leg, the one in front, or I can do it with my rear leg. So that technique is super simple because I'm just using the full bottom of my foot and I'm using a straightforward motion. Now we're gonna do a kick on the side, and that's called the roundhouse. So for a roundhouse, as a beginner, what I'm gonna have you do is use your leg in front, the lead leg, okay? So start with your feet facing away from the bag. My supporting foot, my toes need to be pointing away. That means that my hips are gonna be facing away from the bag. That's gonna keep my knees in a safe motion. My knees move in this direction, so when I go to kick the bag, I need to make sure my hips are in that range too. So I'm gonna, same thing, I'm gonna lean back and put my weight on my supporting leg, knee comes up, and I'm gonna kick with the top of my foot for this one. So here, boom, kick with the top of my foot, bring it back down. Again, you can see my knee is moving in a walking direction. I don't wanna have my toes facing the bag because then I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on my knee here and potentially injure my knee. So foot away, kick the bag. Sometimes in class we're gonna do really light kicks, so it'll look like this. I'm gonna tap, 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 or we might use a little bit more power, and then that way you can hear the bag rock. Okay?
Oh.
And those are your basic techniques. Remember, everybody in class is on a different fitness level, so listen to your own body and go at your own pace. We recommend that you come into class about 15 minutes early so that an instructor can show you these basic techniques and you can have some time to practice and ask questions. Thank you for watching this video, and we can't wait to see you soon.